Hey everybody.
Hi.
We're so excited to be connecting with you guys. So if you're seeing us live, that's amazing. We're so excited, and we're so excited to be connecting. It's such an important time. We really need to be talking with you guys right now and really sharing what we're receiving and being there. So many messages coming through. If you're seeing this on YouTube, definitely make sure to stay connected because we have a lot of messages coming. So subscribe. If you're on our Facebook, go to our YouTube and subscribe to that. If you're on YouTube, go to our Facebook and make sure you're joining us. It's really important for us to all stay connected right now in this particular time because of all of the messages that are coming through, and also to just be able to support each other as a community, yes. Right? So we just ask you to really stay in touch if you want to receive the messages that we're giving, you want to stay connected, you want to be part of the community, so we invite you to do that. Deep breath, right? So much intense energy. We talked to you guys on the eclipse. We talked about what was kind of coming in and what we felt was being asked, but this time after, and now being in this new moon, there's so deeply relevant to what's going on in this moment because of the new moon energy and because of the after this large chapter change. So what we're getting is what a big chapter change this really is, right? Yep. This shift into this chapter, into this new energy. And it's very interesting because on the day of the eclipse, and it's still Mercury retrograde, right? So if we've got technical difficulties, we all know what's going on, right?
Yeah.
But we felt like this message was so important. We wanted to get, it out to you guys, and we wanted to connect, right? So on the day of the eclipse, we actually did choose to be outside, but in nature, and we actually went, and I received some pretty, clear messages as I was, sitting and the eclipse was happening. And one of them was that I was really being shown that it was like all of what we've been through before that moment, it was almost like a door was closed on it. It looked like a bank vault, okay? And it wasn't that those things were no longer relevant or experiences or things like that, but the energy above that bank vault, which is the energy that we're in right now, was this very interesting light green sort of gold energy, and it was open and expanded energy. And I realized that what they were showing me is that how we have sort of in the past needed to get up through things in layers, like levels, like we take a step up, we go through this evolution, we take a step up, we go through this evolution. It's like now there wasn't sort of this linear step up process. It was sort of like this open limitlessness and possibility, which is also really interesting because, and I felt that really, really deeply, right? And we'll talk about the pros of this amazing limitlessness, but also what is kind of causing in us through the integration of our own darkness and our light, right? And we'll talk about that in a moment.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I really received was, being in this state of possibility, how we have to find what is that going to feel like, kind of feeling like we don't have the same roadmap that we had, right? But that the universe, that the astrology, of course, always the universe, right? The universe is conspiring at all times. The astrology, we talked about how that's conspiring to really get us aligned right now. If there's things that are blocking you from who you really are and expressing yourself, all the way up until the 4th of September, and the minimum is going to be really pushing you to get to this place and to really create and manifest your intentions. So if you guys, have not taken time to really, really, really think about, feel into, write, taste, smell what you want for this next chapter, we're still in this new moon energy. Please take some time to really not go into fear, not go into criticism, not go into the past, which I said I feel is really vaulted off at this point, allowing you to be like in your new space, in your new energy, right? Going into that and really bringing in what you want, because the manifestation possibilities now, the power that you have now to be in that space. So whatever is blocking you from you, it needs to go. It's time to go, right? And it's really being asked to be removed.
Yeah, so I wanted to talk about the integration. So a good friend of mine, a colleague, one of my mentors, wrote this beautiful thing on Facebook. And in the beginning, and it was just the beginning that really caught my eye, and it was just so pertinent right now because of the eclipse. When you see the moon and the sun cross each other, it's like the light and the dark, and then everything went dark. And for that moment, it was like, whew. But he was talking about the tree of good and evil. And he said that the tree wasn't the tree of evil. It was of good and evil. And it wasn't separate from each other. It was just one. And we've decided to create and we just, we have this duality of what's good, what's bad, what's good, what's evil. And the thing is that we house all of it. And we tend to go to the dark parts. We judge those parts. We are fearful of those parts. Right. And now we're being asked to integrate all of them. So what does that feel like? What is happening? People are getting lost in it. They're starting to identify with it. And they think that they're dark. Or they think that they are evil. Or they think that something's wrong with them. And they think that they cannot. And they can't see the good in themselves. Because it's just integrating. So I'm asking and I'm just bringing this idea that that's not you. It's a part of you. But it's not all of you.
Right.
And that if we can just surrender to what I am saying, if you can just understand, it is okay to look at those parts. They're not who you are fully. And they are part of you. And that you can look at them and observe them and just not judge them. Holy wow, what you will be able to connect with. You'll be able to connect, actually just like shooting light, you'll be able to connect with yourself in a way that you've never connected before. You will be so free and full of peace and joy that you're going to be like, what the hell is going on? You'll feel so connected to God and the universe and all, like everything, the trees, where you can take a breath and that breath is going to just ground you in a way where you're going to want to express you and all that you're feeling and all that is you. And what that's going to do for other people who cannot do that, for those that can't see past their shoes, for those that are stuck in the dark. So I'm saying this because I don't want you to be deceived by this that's happening. Right? Not to be deceived and disillusioned or illusioned by what is happening. To be able to just be like, you know what? That's what's happening. I surrender. I understand that I'm going to look at some parts of me that I don't completely like.
Right.
Like I'm going to see parts of me that I just want to run from. That those are the parts that I hate myself. And to be able to bring love in and love those parts.
Yes.
Because God loves all of you. All of you. Yesterday, the message I got was that God was saying, man, I need you too. Right? We're like, oh, I need God. And we bow. And God bows before you and loves you. Right? This co-creating, like this team where we learn from God and God learns from you. He loves everything that you do, including every mistake. Because it's the universe, if you really watch carefully, when you make mistakes, the universe cleans it up. The universe helps you go through it.
Right.
It will always help you go through it. It doesn't matter what you choose to do. It wants to see you succeed in whatever it is you want. So I always say, what do you want? Focus on that right now. Surrender to this process. Let go a little bit and be like, I trust. Oh man, do I trust. I trust right now. And watch the shift because the manifestation is so powerful right now. Whatever you're thinking or speaking out is going to happen immediately. So make it good. Make it good.
And I mean, everything Nicole said, yes, right? And that's also why people are so scared right now, right? Because the thing is that your fear, your parts of you that maybe are uninformed, when we talk about darkness, it's uninformed by light and love, right? It's the parts that are scared and judgmental, and they don't realize that stuff doesn't exist. It's illusion, right? It's the shadow, the illusion. And those parts right now are coming up. And because of the power of your manifestation, because of the limitlessness of this time, because of the energy, they're creating. Those fears are creating within your life, okay? And when they're creating within your life, now we're seeing people creating chaos. We're seeing violence. We're seeing things that are scaring us, right? And the thing is understanding that this is just a process, and you don't have to, as Nicole said, get lost in that. And believe that that's a reality. This is a process which we're detoxing parts. When we have something that needs to be corrected, we need to see it first. Okay? We'll talk about this all the time. So right now, there's an integration, a deeper integration of darkness and lightness within ourselves, right? Because the duality, at the end of the day, is an illusion. But because we work at this frequency, we work within the illusion, okay? And as we work within the illusion, right now there's a deeper integration. In order for that to integrate, it needs to become apparent, needs to become visible, needs to be something that we can see and feel tangibly, right? So don't grasp and hold the 3D too much right now. Don't hold on to any one feeling too hard. Don't invest too much in the things that are actually coming up to be detoxed or processed out. And be aware of this in others as well, right? So if others are having a challenging time, if they say things that are hurtful, if the ones that you love, push away, if things like that happen, understand that everyone's going through their own process, right? And we're all mirroring one another. This is one of the most, this is a global experience. Okay, so that is really truly something that people forget, and they think, oh, I'm going through this. So is everyone else, right? Think about that collective energy. And again, going back to this really deep this really strong, clear message that I received about the possibilities right now being more limitless, being more infinite. Again, you don't have to go from first grade to second grade, metaphorically speaking. You literally can go to first grade to 25th grade to 10th grade to back to first grade. You can move, right? Laterally, horizontally, diagonally, however you want to move within this energy. That's amazing. But again, we're used to working within a certain energetic construct and confines, and so we'll feel strange. And so a lot of you have messaged us. First of all, we're going to actually, in this video, we're going to do a little bit of healing work with you guys, because a lot of you have messaged us and you're having a lot of pain. First of all, the integration within ourselves about what's going on is very painful. But also, again, other people are reacting to this. And there's been big changes in people's lives, right? Big shifting in people's lives. And a lot of times people will come to me and say, I don't know what's going on, right? I lost all of these really important things. Well, let's talk again about how Mercury and the solar eclipse, right, has been asking us, and Mercury is retrograde till the 4th of September, has been asking us to really look at what's not aligned with who we are, and allow that to release, right? And if you've been on board, if you've been doing your work, or you're saying, okay, your soul's been saying, okay, I'm ready to do this, what the universe will do, sometimes it will feel rougher, sometimes it will feel gentle, is it will help guide you to that. So sometimes some things are not serving you anymore. But in the moment, maybe it feels really painful, it doesn't feel good, but they're not serving you. And so the universe will sort of close some doors and allow others to open. And when we're in the middle of it, when we're in our pain, our vision gets really micro, right?
It gets like this,
super micro, and all we can see,
I know that.
all we can see is our feet in front of us, and we're going, and it hurts really bad.
Yeah.
Right? And we're very micro-visioned, but the universe sees way bigger, right? God, creation, the universe sees the whole picture.
Yeah.
And knows that you're being guided, right? You're being guided to those open doors that you want, that are going to be positive for you.
Yeah, and I'm being told to share with you to stop pointing fingers. Stop pointing fingers, right? And it's like, but Nicole, Dove, Twin Flame Revolution, there's so many people out there that are so hateful. I get that. I really get that. I really get that. And as I'm sharing with you what we're sharing, and we're talking about this integration of dark and light, and these parts, these aspects of us, like hate, and some of it is it's literally disgusting to us. It repulses us, but we're all connected, and we all have a little bit of all of it. We all do. We are all capable of all these things. There's hate in everyone. And so just bringing that to your awareness to start to shift, because we are at a natural state unconditional love. We can love the unlovable. We can love those that hate. We can love those that murder. We can love all things. And so I'm always, this is a practice, when I start pointing fingers, I'm always directed to look back at myself, because what is it in me that has that? Because only when we really, two things can happen. Usually when someone triggers us, they're doing something that we do. Or when someone's triggering us, it's basically something that, triggers something in us that creates the same type of anger, right? So if someone's doing something that's so hateful and they trigger you, all of a sudden the hate comes out of you, because you're like, and you want to scream and yell at the person, so they're triggering parts of you that have hate in there. And that's beautiful. It's actually a beautiful thing, because we can look at those parts. I always tell people, when all of this stuff comes out, and you're just like, everything looks like a mess. Well, now it's all on the table. It's all out. It's like a buffet of crap. It's like, there's my hate, there's my self-worth issues. It's all on the table. It's like, well, you know what? Now we can start to deal with them. Yes, yes, yes. We can start to deal with all of that because we see it. You can't free it unless you see it. You have to be aware. Right? We're always talking about awareness. What does that mean? To be able to look at it in the eye and be like, I have that.
Yes.
And that's got to go. And we can clear that and move through that. And for the masculine, I want to honor you. I want to honor you for having a hard time surrendering. We talk about surrender to the process, right? I've been getting the message that the masculine energy, and I'm a woman and have masculine energy, but I don't have like as much testosterone as you men do. And that's hard to surrender. We're taught no retreat, no surrender. We've gone to war. We've put ourselves in really hard positions, drug addiction, lots of traumas. It's really hard to surrender, to let go, and to trust when you've gone so deep into pain and agony. So I want to honor that, but let you know that just begin to ask to be able to surrender. And as for feminine, the feminine template, yeah, I know it's hard. I know it's hard when you feel like you're taking the brunt of nurturing and healing because that's who you are. You are mother goddess. You are healer goddess. You are lover goddess. You are housing all these beautiful things, and you're being asked to surrender a little bit more deeply so the masculine can kind of lay down on your chest, and then that he can bow down to you. And so it may look like you're taking the brunt. It may look like you feel stupid. It may look like you feel like, well, I don't want to do this. But the thing is that you can. You are that powerful that you can. And so to have mercy and grace on the masculine instead of judging in the 3D, because it's really hard. It's hard. It's hard when we run. It's hard when we run from you and all you want to do is like be there. And we're like, no, it's too intense. I don't want to do that. But you can do that. And with that, right? With that, this the polarization and the just the love and the energy and the frequency that is going to happen with that, even if you don't see it yet in the 3D, is going to be life-changing. It's going to evolve and push forward for the rest of humanity. And so just know that you can be a part of that. You can be a part of that. Yes. You are a part of that. You're doing it.
Yes. Yes.
And you're doing a really good job. Yeah.
Yeah. There was a lot that came to me when I was listening to Nicole speak just now. And so what does it look like, right? I heard some of you go, what does it look like? What does it look like to let go of some of my stuff? What does it look like to let go of some of the things that aren't aligned with me, right? And Nicole talked about judgment of self, right? Not aligned with who we are, to judge ourselves because this is just an experience. It brings us in low vibration. When she was talking about the feminine template, feeling small, feeling like any of us feeling like we are victimized by this because we abdicate our power when we feel victimized. When we buy into the construct that we are ever really a victim of anything, we abdicate our power in that moment. You are so powerful that we can't even comprehend it with the amount of our brain and frequency that we use. Right? If you just stop for a moment, imagine that you are that powerful. And we talked about co-creation. You are creating. You are co-creating this world, this existence. Okay? And so now more than ever, in this new chapter, in this new energy, now more than ever, you can create anything that you want. So with the information of that, right, with the tools, with the understanding, we can't go back and think that we're not responsible for things. We become aware, we see the responsibility, and a lot of times responsibility for some reason has a negative energy around it. Ooh, responsibility. I don't want to be responsible, right? Like when people say, I don't want to be adulting, right? I don't want to grow up. Responsibility is beautiful. It's a totally new definition, so I invite you to come into my definition of responsibility, right? And my definition of responsibility is my power. It's my awareness of the power that I have and my choice to take that on to create the life that I want to live and the existence that I want to be part of, right? And when I said that, I felt all of you go, yeah, let's let go of that old definition of responsibility.
Yeah.
Right? how there are terms and phrases and words that have an energy around them now, right? Because they're all energy coded. And some of them we use really sort of flippantly, and we don't realize that they actually are cutting us down. They're cutting our power down, right? And to just be able to be like, you know what? Like when people say things, it's time to question. Again, what is not aligned with you? Question things that make you feel you do them out of obligation. Okay? I have to do this. No, we don't have to do anything. In fact, when you realize that we don't have to do anything, we come into choice and our power about it, right? When we say things like the phrase, my least favorite phrase, it is what it is. What? It is what it is. It is what we make it. It is what we say it is. It is what we create. It isn't what it is, right? And so we don't pay attention to all these ways that we abdicate our power. And so aligning with ourselves with who we are, it's what lights you up, what lights your soul up, what is the expression of who you really are, right? Who are you in that way, and how can you express yourself, and how can you take those things that are limiting and not love and not judgments, and our judgment, and let them go, right? And we're always here if you guys need help through that process, right? And so I don't know if Nicole has something she wants to say before we clear a little, but we wanted to gift you guys a little bit of clearing.
Yeah, I want to share something really beautiful that happened to me yesterday, and a message that I have for all of you. And it was something I've never actually experienced in this life, and it was really brought me to my knees. And I was being reminded by God, and the frequency came in so strong that I lost my hearing. I kind of left my body for a moment because it was too much for my whole being. And I was reminded of how much really God loves us, and how much we always say, like, we need higher power, we need God, we don't think about how much God loves us and needs us, created us to be with us, to co-create together, to learn from one another, to do something so massive. And so when we're really being brought through this process of integration, and we start to look at our worth, and we're like, I don't have a degree, I didn't really do much with my life, I hate my job, or, I'm not with someone right now, and I'm a failure. And it's like we use all these things to make us worth something, or to direct like our focus on of what we're worth, and none of that actually adds up. None of those things actually add up to your worth. You are needed here. I will say it to you all the time. God needs you here, your heart, your special heartbeat, your tears, your work, your light, your frequency. It is all needed. It makes the whole thing spin. It makes it all good. So if you're like, I don't know what I'm doing here, that's okay. But you're needed here. And this universe, we all love you. Everything is conspiring to help you.
And there are ways, it's interesting. We were talking to a client the other day, and many clients, and one of the first things they'll say is, I don't know who I am, right? I'm not sure why I'm here. And so you don't have to figure that out alone, right? I mean, everything we do, us, and there's other people, everything we do is just to bring you into your power, into your remembrance, into your intuition, into your alignment, so that you can feel yourself and how powerful and amazing that you are, right? And you can see yourself the way that we can already see you, right? And I remember when I met Nicole, I always saw right through all of the external symptom stuff. And all I could ever see is who she was, this enormous, powerful being. But she couldn't see that about herself, because sometimes we can't. Sometimes we have a lot of trauma, and we have a lot of pain, we have a lot of judgment, we have a lot of experience, and we start losing track of that energy. But we can see that about you, right? We see who you are, and everything we do is dedicated to helping you see that and feel that. And when you're in that space, you become the lighthouse for your partner, your twin, your connection, your family, the earth, the world,
Yeah.
Right? This is a beautiful gift.
Yeah. Yesterday I was hearing, but for the grace of God go I, and God was like, no, you are my grace. You are grace. You have access to grace all the time. It's in you, right? It was given, right? So.
Yes. All right, so we'll do a little bit of clearing for you guys. We're with you. We're connected. We're going to be putting out more stuff as frequently as we can because there's a lot of energy shifting, right? It's a very different energy reality now for a lot of reasons. We even perceive the light and things slightly differently now. Some of you might have kind of felt that. Some of you might not have. But the information that's coming down right now, right? Our central sun, the sun in our solar system brings a lot of information. The information that's coming right now, it's a bigger time for awakening. It's a bigger time but like Nicole said, the shadow is stronger. It's illuminated harder right now. And it's attempting to make the connection and the integration. So know that the shadows are present and know that the shadows are just part of everything.
It's okay.
Right? And know that you can experience them and not judge them and that they can release, right? And that they're not going to ravage you or your world. And when we feel flooding or we feel fear, to be able to release that, not to attach to that, not to drop our vibration, not to sink ourselves into that world, but know that it's just an integration, right? Just an alignment.
Yeah, and it's funny, everyone always wants to feel whole and feel okay. Yet we push away all these parts of us and that do not allow us to feel whole and to feel present all the time and to be at peace because we're always fighting ourselves, right? So we don't have to fight anymore. We cease fighting. We get to just sit and be, and it's okay. It's okay, your stuff. All the baggage or things that you do, the judgment against, it's like, it is okay right now. It's okay to just let go. Just allow yourself to be where you are. Put your feet into the ground and sit and just ask, for just this love energy to come in and to just really allow for, it's happening. The process is happening, whether we like it or not. We did this. We asked for this. We've been working for this. It starts to happen and we're like, whoa, dude, I don't know about this, but you can. You can, and you're doing it right now. And there's days I know it feels unbearable. I have days like that where it's unbearable. And again, the more we surrender, the easier it flows through. It's just a process. It's like just watching it. It feels really horrible, but it's like, okay, it's happening. It's okay.
And I was being guided to tell you, so I heard some of you go, well, what the hell does surrendering mean? Surrendering is a really often misused, at least the way we use it. The definition is a little different than what other people think sometimes. Surrendering doesn't mean, when Nicole says you just surrender and you let it happen, she doesn't mean you just sit on your couch and expect this process to work itself out, right? She means that you release into the process, release into the experience. Don't fight it. Don't press against it. It's like the example that I used to use all the time. It's like we want to go through this door. Right? And the door is lit up and it's got all our goals and all this light and we love it, right? And we start to get close to the door and it's like this giant wind tunnel and we're like, no! And we stay there. And that place is so much more painful.
Yeah.
Because it's this perpetual state of looking at the goal and staying in the junk.
Yeah.
Right? So don't stay in the junk and use your tools and find connections. And if you need us, we're here and all these different things to get you to go through the door. Because tell you what, the process, and so it's like I was feeling everyone's fear, the process of walking through that door, even if you feel pain, it's different, right? Life is not the absence of pain, but it can be the absence of suffering. Because suffering is our choice to hold up against that door and not to go through it. Pain is just an experience, right? And pain, Nicole and I will talk about it often, is amazing because it brings us to our growth.
Yep.
And it brings us to question, and it brings us to our knees. And in our knees, we will pick up that phone, we will make that connection, we will do what we have to do to heal, to release, to change, to evolve. When we are okay, we are going to be stagnant. And that's just how we set it up here.
Yeah, and I challenge you, when you surrender, to let go of the stories that you are creating about yourself and the world around you. What does that mean? You know what I'm talking about. Sometimes we'll look at ourselves and we'll go on a tangent. Well, I have this and I have that and I do this and this means this and this must mean that they don't love me and this must mean that I'm not worth it. And it's like on and on. And the thing is if we can just go, wait a second, maybe it doesn't mean any of those things, because it probably doesn't. All right? Woo. And just let go of that and just be like, I'm just going to let that pass. I'm going to take the stories, I'm going to move the stories, and I'm going to align with what I know is true. And start to trust yourself. Here's the thing, everyone. Because we are going through all this darkness and fear, you're being asked to trust yourself more than ever. Do not doubt yourself. You know by your feelings when something is good for you and is not good for you. We're seeing more and more people and healers and different things getting thrown, just tossed around and not aligned with themselves. And I'm not like judging anyone. I'm saying that I've been feeling it. This twist and not trusting and what is going on, because we're going through this moment of like doubt and all this stuff. But when we ground ourselves, and we're going to do some healing stuff and really just connect with our higher self, you will always have the right answer.
Yes.
You will always get it.
Yes.
And if you don't trust it, ask the universe, and the universe will give you another sign to show you that you're totally on course.
Yes.
And if that doesn't work, ask one more time, because usually 3 times they'll give it to you. They'll give it to you. They will. So ask and stay aligned and trust yourself. Trust your heart. Trust you. Trust your feelings. Trust your emotions. You're right on track. You're right on track. I know you are.
Oh, all right. I'm going to have you guys take a couple deep breaths. And I want you to be present in this moment. Okay? Understanding that this moment is different from the past moment, and it's different from every other moment that you've had. And now this moment is again different. And that you are different having listened to this video and awakened and remembering aspects of yourself, right? And that from this state of remembering, and you can't go back to not remembering. So even if you stumble, right, it's still with you. And so everything from this moment is in full possibility. And in this chapter, everything that we create is limitless, essentially, you know? And we've always had that power. It's now we're feeling it and moving into it more. And so I just really want to allow for the fear, really the deep fear, to be cleared out. What is it going to look like now? What's going on? Am I safe? Who am I? What is going on? All this deep fear. I just ask for that to be cleared out of your cellular and DNA, emotional, mental, body, subconscious, conscious, and superconscious mind. Just allow you to release that. Just watch it sort of melt out of yourself, out of your cells, out of your auric field. Right? You guys are doing great. I feel a lot of calming. And so it's like also just kind of bringing in a lot of light right now. So I want to bring solar light as well as prime energy light, platinum light, all around your being. It's like, imagine like a tube of light all around you, going through every one of your cells, your skin, your aura, your environment around you, just expanding out, expanding out, expanding out. And just ask this to clear all the dark or low vibration energies around you. And allow for the parts of you that are in the darkness to kind of come and be illuminated and integrated with yourself. And then it's like, and then it's like this grasping of the past. Oh my God, she said that there was a door closing. Oh my God, there's things shifting in my life. Oh my God. And it's like, so we want to go grab. Woo, just bring rose, pink, and gold into your belly and just nurture and calm that inner child. And allow for the grasping of the past to be released. Right? Just know that you're safe in this moment. You're good in this moment. You're protected in this moment.
I just want to move any self-sabotage out of the way. So when we're about to get really big breakthroughs, our ego wants to pull us down. It's like, no, don't go there. I don't know what that is. What will happen if I go into the light? We thank you for your service. We create self-saboteur to help us throughout, to protect us, and it's unnecessary. Now you're protected. You're fully perfect and protected. I'm just going to bring in 100% light quotient into our beings. It has a specific frequency. You can hear it. And that just really just moves through, and in your home, in your place of business, in your car, with your family. To allow for just pure love, light, peace, joy, ecstasy, grounded, comfort. That feels good.
You guys are doing amazing. So that's our gift to you guys
Yeah.
today. We really hope that you appreciate that. And again, we're gonna ask you guys to, if you're on Facebook, go subscribe to the YouTube. If you're on YouTube, subscribe to or join the Facebook. Follow us. This way we can stay connected, all of us, and we can serve you the best that we possibly can.
Yeah, and if you really need support, you can email us at info@twinflamerevolution.com.
Yes.
And we can set up a consultation. So,
all right, bye guys. We love you.